Coming up next, actually, we've got two speakers. It's a twofer. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness, we're going to be talking about Project Reunion, and I'm going to introduce Zarya and Miguel. Let me bring them along here. Hello, how you doing there, friends?
Hello.
Hello.
Now, Project Reunion, we've been hearing bits and pieces about this, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about what we can do with Project Reunion.
And we're looking forward to telling you more about it. So I'm just going to share my screen really quickly.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Here it comes. It's a live event. That's how you know this is real.
I know.
Here we go.
I see it kind of shuddering. I don't know if
let's see what happens.
For you.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay, let me see it. Let me present it and then see if that actually stops.
Okay.
If not, then maybe Miguel can share. Is it still shuddering?
Nope.
Okay,
that
great.
Looks good.
Awesome. All right, so let me just start by introducing myself. My name is Zarya Faraj, and I'm a program manager here at Microsoft.
Hi, I am Miguel Ramos. I'm a program manager here in Microsoft, working in Project Reunion and also especially in WinUI.
Yeah, so for the past couple of years, we've heard a lot of feedback from our developer community about the challenges of building Windows apps. So we're going to talk to you, Miguel and I, about the investments that we're making through this effort called Project Reunion for how we're going to make Windows app development significantly easier. So I'm first going to start off by actually talking to you about like the specific challenges that we're going to solve for. Then like what Project Reunion actually is, the values that we're hoping to deliver to developers from the feedback that we have received over the past couple of years, as well as the investment areas that we're making to deliver on those values. And then I'm going to talk about how we're actually going to break up that work in our roadmap before handing it off to Miguel, who'll talk to you about WinUI 3 and do a demo. And then we'll wrap it up with just some links for you to learn more, get involved in the project, and provide feedback, because this is truly a community-driven effort. So as I said, we've spent a lot of time with developers and getting their feedback, and that's been through community calls, software design reviews, and 101s and focus groups to really understand the existing pain points that you're experiencing in developing apps for Windows. And what we've heard is that Windows development is really hard, not just for new developers to the platform, but those of you who've been building Windows apps for years. And what adds to that complexity is the varied versions of Windows that you need to develop for and that you need to target. You might have customers, for example, whether they're end users or consumer end users or enterprises who are using older versions of Windows. And that makes it really difficult to roll out new features if you don't know what versions to target. So there is a need for predictability and knowing how to steadily discontinue features for down-level versions of Windows, and not just one level down, but many down-level versions. So you can meet your customers where they are at in their developer journey or their journey with Windows. So solving for these challenges has been the driving force behind Project Reunion, which essentially is an open source project that is currently under the code name Project Reunion. And it is our approach to eliminate the barriers in the platform. And it's our way of making the latest and greatest of Windows available to all apps. And it's our way of making it really easy to create powerful, value-generating apps for your end customers and users. So let's talk about what Project Reunion really is, technically speaking, by looking at this high-level architecture diagram. So the current Windows operating system has inside of it these Windows 32 or desktop APIs on one side and the UWP APIs on the other end. And for the most part, these are they live in different worlds. They're kind of walled off from each other. And unfortunately, what that means is the amazing and progressive features and capabilities that we built for UWP are kind of walled off and not accessible to the classic Windows desktop apps or Win32 apps. And even then, those features are fundamentally tied to the operating system. And this is a problem because when you then go and build UWP apps or Win32 apps and libraries, right, you can only target a subset of these APIs. And what we're trying to do with Project Reunion is to lift and decouple these desktop APIs, as well as the UWP APIs, in and out of the operating system, including the underlying functionality that makes things work. Now, this isn't just another body of APIs and features that are walled off, right? This isn't another third thing. These are a collection of the best of Windows, decoupled and lifted out of the operating system so they can ship independently and at the speed that your app evolves as opposed to the speed of the operating system. And eventually, our goal is to bring these two worlds together. So you're only building Windows apps, right? You're not having to spend time and effort tackling what versions of the operating system to target or make the tough choice between what app model to choose. And as a result, kind of miss out on really great capabilities and features that you and your end users and customers would benefit from. So we're really hoping by making these investments, we can help you build really great apps that kind of support complex scenarios, that enable really great and interactive end user experiences, and that drive value for you and your customers. So let's talk about some of these values that we're hoping to deliver based on the feedback that we've gotten from developers. First of all, we know it's really important for us to achieve decoupling and shipping independent from the operating system. But we need to combine that with the power of Win32 and the innovations of UWP and WinRT. Second, we're not really trying to be prescriptive about the UI frameworks or the set of APIs that you should use. Instead, we understand that you all have made a lot of investments in the breadth of technologies that we already have today. And those need to be incrementally supported as part of Reunion. So you can adopt the technologies kind of as you need instead of having to start from scratch. And then you can build with confidence, knowing that Reunion can work for you regardless of whether you have a packaged or unpackaged app. Now, our plan is to support down to Windows version 1809 or RS5, mainly because versions prior to 1809 are nearing their end of life support in many environments, including enterprises. And then beyond that, we will polyfill features as needed and support both UWP and Win32 apps. Now, lastly, it's really important for us to do this work with openness and community feedback and community support, right? And we're achieving this first and foremost by making the project itself open source on GitHub. And we're asking developers to go on our project and to raise issues and make proposals for the investments that we should make. We're engaged with our community through monthly community calls and having software design reviews with developers in our partner program. So feedback is essential to validating the work we're doing and kind of driving the roadmap. And if there are any values that are important to you that I haven't shared here, then we would really love to hear from you. And at the end of this talk, we'll provide you with some links for how you can get engaged. All right, so now that we have discussed what Reunion is at a high level and the benefits that we hope to deliver through this effort, I want to talk through some of the investment areas for the remainder of the year. First, we're really focused on building coherent, modern interactions and UX design. And this includes WinUI 3, which is the Windows 10 native UI platform. It also includes modern windowing that extends the power of Win32 windowing and provides consistent experiences regardless of the application model that you've chosen. Now, our investments also include optimizations for device hardware, such as touch and ink and inputs and display improvements. We have also, are making sure that we provide great system performance and battery life. And this includes capabilities from UWP, such as taking advantage of background tasks and triggers and timers. It gives us a way to make Windows PCs much more performant and for them to live longer, which is really, really important to end user satisfaction. We're also investing in hassle-free app discovery and management. So this includes framework package deployment, auto update for all app types, and leverages the benefits of packaging with MSIX, such as preventing machine rot. And lastly, I know I've talked about this quite a bit, but I really want to reaffirm our investment in platform unification and deployment, which includes decoupling the Windows platform from the operating system, ensuring the features work on all supported Windows versions, and moving our engineering to GitHub so we can develop in the open. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about roadmap and how we're going to chunk up this work. So leading up to February, we've had 4 preview releases of WinUI 3. And next up, we have kind of the official reunion release, which is the 0.5 release, and I should say our first release here. And the main goal of this release is to learn, is to validate the initial investments that we've made and get your feedback. It's also our first supported release for packaged apps, and that includes the supported version of WinUI 3 that came out as part of Preview 4. Then around May and June, we have the 0.8 release, which will include improvements on WinUI, updates to the deployment pipeline, app cycle events that you can hook up to make your app more performant. And then the 1.0 release at the end of the year will include WinUI enhancements and the supported releases of windowing, among many other things that are still being planned with input from you as part of our developer community. So during these 3 releases, we're also going to start our preview program. So you have the ability to use the supported releases as well as and test our kind of preview releases without having to pick one or the other. So that's our roadmap for this year. And you can take a deeper look at our roadmap on our GitHub project to learn more about how we're approaching kind of our plan and our roadmap after this year and beyond 2021. So at this point, I'm going to hand it off to Miguel, who will talk to you more about WinUI 3 and give you a demo.
Thank you, Saria. So what is WinUI 3? So WinUI 3 is a native UI platform for Windows 10 devices developed by the Windows team. It is currently a preview, but you will get a ready for production release soon, as Saria said before. It is built for today's hardware and devices, offering the latest fluent styling controls and graphical capabilities that Windows 10 provides. I want to make clear that WinUI 3 is not a new platform. It's not a platform that we created from scratch. This is the native UI platform that consolidates the UX technologies previously built in Windows. As a UI platform, it contains a lot of components like a visual layer, input layer, a SAML framework, and a library of stylus and controls. You can build so beautiful high-performance .NET 5 and also C++ Windows application choosing one application model, usually P or Win32, like WPF or WinForms today. WinUI 3 also will be the low-level UI layer for middleware frameworks like React Native for Windows or .NET MAUI and Uno. So let's cut to the chase and let's see the demo of WinUI 3 in action. Let me just show you what you have to do. So the first thing that you have to do is go to the WinUI website to install the WinUI 3 Preview 4. And after this installation, you will see new project templates in your Visual Studio. For instance, you will get the blank app for desktop and a blank app for UWP as well. You will find templates for C++ or C#. Let's choose a C# one. And when you click one, you will see something like this. There are several interesting things we can learn. The first one is that this is really a .NET 5 application. So you can access all the .NET libraries plus the Windows 10 libraries like WinRT libraries plus the Win32 Flat C APIs. And also, we are using C# WinRT projection underneath for consuming the WinUI 3 because WinUI 3 is a WinRT library created in C++. Another interesting thing is that you can see in here that we are using the WinUI 3, which is a new package. Also, we are targeting one specific version of Windows 10, which is the 1809. So that means that your applications should be run in devices with Windows 10, 1809, and superior. WinUI 3 Preview 4 and Reunion 0.5 only support securing apps that were installed using the MSIX. So this is the reason why you can see this package project in here. However, this is something that we are working on to try to remove this dependency. If you are a UWP or WPF developer, the structure on the files of this project will be very familiar to you. For example, if you go to your app.saml, you will find all the resources for your application. You will see also the code behind, and in the code behind of the application, you will see that we are creating a new window. In the new main window file, you see all the SAML for all the UI, and in the code behind, you are handling all the logic and events. So nothing new in here, right? However, I would like just to highlight something really interesting, something that I really like it. As I said, this is a Win32 app, and I want to show you as a sample how this project is taking advantage of all the C++, all the C Win32 apps, APIs that we have for Win32. For example, let me show you load image and send message. If we go over there, we are using this couple of Win32 API just to load the icon of the window. The reason is because in the WinUI 3 Preview 4, the window object doesn't have the icon property, but this shouldn't stop to you to set up an icon because you can call always these two APIs. If you want to learn more about WinUI 3, I do recommend just installing the Samples Control Gallery. And this is an app that showcases all the samples control that you can find in the platform. You see, there is a lot. I don't remember the number. It's like 60, 64, I don't know. And also, anytime that you click in some page, you will see several code snippets where show you how to use this control, and you can also run and play a little with the control. Nice. So let's zoom up. Where are we seeing so far? We already said that WinUI 3 in Reunion 0.5 will be ready for production. Means that you can put these pieces of code, this application in your final apps. That run on devices with Windows 1809 and superior. You can target even ARM64 devices. It will support Win32 application model, and you can create apps using .NET 5 or C++. It also comes with a lot of control and sectional accessibility, plus other features that you can see in this list, and more stuff. If you are wondering about what other features could be in the platform, so let me show you a list of the top features that we are investigating and making some progress. So in the same way that we support .NET 5, we will support .NET 6, of course. So we have desktop WinUI 3 apps for .NET 5, and we are investigating about how to make UWP WinUI 3 apps in .NET 5 too. Today, your app must be developed using MSIX, as I showed you before, but we are working on removing this dependency. The previous version allowed to create multiple windows in the app, but this is still a work in progress, so we need to finalize this kind of feature. And we want that WPF and WinForm apps can use the WinUI 3 control, so we are making progress in something called Salmon Islands. So it's going to allow to you to can mix in the same app WPA, WinForm, WinUI all together. We are still investigating how to bring other UWP controls like Media Player, Map Control, and in Canvas. And another interesting thing is about open source. So we already doing some work in the open. For example, the functional specs, the API spec, the feature requests are open source right now, but we want to make open source the code as well. As you know, this is a really complicated project, so we are lifting out the platform from the operating system. So it means that we still need to remove a lot of private dependencies and refactor the code to allow the community can collaborate and contribute with the WinUI3 project. And as I said before, we're investigating and making progress in this area, but we didn't commit with this work yet, so we will have a date. But as soon as we know, I will let you know. Before leaving and sent to Saria again, let me show you another quick demo. So something interesting about WinUI3 is also allows you to use the hot reload and live visual tree. Yeah, for instance, if I have my app running like this one, let me show up the Visual Studio as well. So it means I'm running this application over there. I want to share something in this app, for instance, the canvas. I can go into this panel, go over there, change the background color. I'm going to show something like gray, and go back to the control, and everything changes. Means that even WinUI 3 can take advantage of all the good things that the SAML developer team already implemented. And I think that's the last thing I want to show you. So let's go back to Saria, who is going to tell you more stuff.
All right, thanks, Miguel. As somebody who really cares about design and end user experiences, I'm super excited about everything that's going on with WinUI 3. So we essentially want to end our presentation here by providing you with some links where you can go and learn more to start using Reunion and WinUI 3, as well as participate in the open source project by raising proposals for areas that you believe we should be investing in. I mean, this is really just the start, and our roadmap is going to be shaped by our community of developers, which includes you, and we're really looking forward to building our platform with you. So I think at this point we have like 7 minutes, so we can open it up for Q&A.
Awesome. Let me bring in some of the questions that we have here. Thank you so much. Let me bring, hey, there I am. How you doing? It's me, Jeff. I'm up here. So we did get a number of questions out there on Twitter. Let me bring some of these up because I think you're going to be able to help us with these. So let me start in here. This might be a little bit deep in the weeds here, but Ainsley asks, how does Reunion differ from CS Win32 and .WinMD?
Actually, the project C# Win32 and C# WinRT are part of the Project Reunion. So Project Reunion is about making simple for developer consume any kind of Windows APIs, and C# WinRT and C# Win32 are part of the Project Reunion altogether.
There you go. All right. Is WinUI 3 shipping with .NET 6 later this year? Does that line up? In the November timeframe?
We don't have a date yet.
Okay.
So we say fall, right? In Saria, we say fall because we are still working in the engineering plan. For sure, we are going to support .NET 5, and in some point, we are going to test the platform to .NET 6. Everything looks like it's going to work great, but we need to set up some plan to make sure that with the bits of .NET 6, WinUI 3 and Project Reunion is working nice. So, but we can't commit today say, yeah, it's going to ship with the .NET 6. We don't know yet.
Okay. Yeah, and our roadmap is continuing to develop based on feedback that we get. So our recommendation is really to go to our project on GitHub to just stay up to date on what is going to be shipping at the end of this year, which is, yep, that's
There's the links.
At the very, very top.
So make sure you check those out. Awesome. There's a question here from Patty. Let me pivot back to mine. Is there a window handle in WinUI 3?
Yes, there is. So, and this is the reason why I could call the Win32 APIs in the demos, because the window is a HWing. So I get the HWing and I send the HWing to the Win32 APIs, like send message.
Awesome. Yeah, see that? Do we have any information on a map control coming to WinUI 3?
We are making progress, steady progress on that. It's a really complex control with a lot of complexity because it takes different layers, but we are making progress. It's in the list of the things that we want to do, but
Okay.
can't commit yet.
Absolutely. There's time and place and prioritizations that happen. So got to ship the entire framework before we can make sure we get that map control. So there's a question here that sounds like this might be a nice tie-in to kind of cross the bridge into our next session. How does .NET MAUI tie in with Project Reunion?
It is a very wonderful question because WinUI and Project Reunion are part of the MAUI. So MAUI is going to consume WinUI 3 as in some point Blazor as well, because it's on the top of MAUI. So we are part of the story, and also we are working with the MAUI team very closely.
So we happen to have, since they're starting the next session, let's just hand that baton. Let me bring David in here for a second to have hey, David.
Hello.
So, gosh, Miguel's setting it up. They're part of this. And then you can kind of answer the other half of this question of how's MAUI work with Reunion?
Yeah, so MAUI is about bringing the latest and greatest modern UI toolkits to each platform. What's the best experience, the most native, and the most future-looking experience on that platform? So with the Windows team investment in Project Reunion and WinUI 3, we want to make sure that we're delivering that to developers with .NET MAUI so that you can maximize your cross-platform investments using .NET. So Miguel did a great job answering that question. I was kind of laughing backstage here as he got that question. I was like, "Oh, buddy," but that was great. And by the way, Zaria, I don't know if you meant to, but you look like you're wearing a MAUI T-shirt there, or your shirt. So I feel like you're representing.
I live in Seattle, so I gotta make myself happy this way.
There you go.
I understand that.
Well, let me put those links back up on the screen one more time that Zaria had for us. Thank you so much, David. We'll bring you back in just a second. So there's your links if you want to learn more about Project Reunion.
Gosh, yeah, and we hope to see you guys at our community call next month. We have one every month, and if you go to our GitHub repo, we'll also update it with our community calls for Project Reunion, because that will be the place where we'll continue to provide updates, where you can learn kind of what's happening on our roadmap, and it's a channel for us to get your feedback.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Zaria and Miguel. Really appreciate you getting us up to speed on Reunion here. And we're going to move on to our last session that we hinted at there. So take care.
Thank you.